It's time for Mark Mod Monday.
Okay, hello people, welcome to the review. So to start off, we're just gonna start up the car and you can see the Eonon logo pop up, and then we're speeding it up here, but it runs through the Volkswagen logo. So we're gonna start off overview the buttons. So you press the mode button on the top left where my thumb is. It'll go through music, Bluetooth, reverse camera, radio, which doesn't work due to me not having the adapter for North America. Below that's the mute button. And then the Navi button, which can be remapped to really any navigation application you want. So if you don't want to use the Google one, you can use whatever you'd like. I don't pay for a subscription service, so I don't use it. There's also a pause and play button, fast forward and go back. And then the right knob, if you click it down, it'll open the Equalizer, as you can see. And moving it forward or backwards will do the same thing as the forward or backwards buttons. And then so on the left side is the volume knob. If you press it really quickly, it doesn't do anything, but if you hold it down, it'll turn off the head unit. And then that little one we just zoomed in on is the reset button. I've never used it, but I assume it'll do something if the Etan starts malfunctioning. That's the home button, and then the eject button if you have a disc in there. So the reason my Android interface looks different than normal is because I'm using the Nova launcher, but you still can use the stock Android if you want that the Eonon comes with. I just think it looks pretty with the Nova launcher. So I can open Soundcloud on this, as you can see. You do need to create a hotspot with your phone, but that works just fine even with my iPhone. I think it works more seamlessly if you have an Android though. You should be able to do it through USB on an Android. So that was SoundCloud. As you saw before, clicking this button down will open up the Equalizer, which works perfectly with my aftermarket subwoofer and amp. The fader works great, as you just saw. If you open your door, any of the doors on the car, it'll show up right there on the little dialogue, because it uses the CAN bus interface. And this is when I put the car in reverse, and I don't have the Eonon reverse camera. So it just comes up with the hazard light, and that's one of my biggest annoyances with the head unit, because I don't have that camera. Here's the custom Etan settings in the settings. So this is GPS information. I've never really messed with that. This stuff will pause the video if you're driving your car. Reverse settings. Again, I don't use the camera, so I don't know. Clicking the amplifier just brings up the Equalizer there. And you can remap this steering wheel keys if you want. I have never messed with that, so I'm not sure how well that works. Although I did remap my voice control button on the steering wheel to a mute button using the VCDS software, and that does carry over to the Eonon unit. So jumping out of settings, you can use the Play Store, although I didn't have Wi-Fi when we were filming this video. There's the Nova launcher that I use, so you can open up you can change the desktop settings like the icon spacing and scrolling and everything. Although I just try to keep it really clean, like I don't have any pages on my home screen, just to keep it as simple as possible. There's some padding, like height changing. So we're in the car right now. Just want to do some real time showing off of some of the features of the Eonon paired with some other equipment. So this is called the IE Geek OBD2 reader, and one of the perks of this one is it's actually Wi-Fi and not Bluetooth. So you can, oh, that's my phone, but you can simultaneously connect to Bluetooth and play music while also using the OBD2 reader connected to the Torque application. Plug that in. It'll light up. So this will create a little Wi-Fi network that you can see right here. It's going to be called Wi-Fi OBD2. So we're connected to the ECU. You can see right now the boost pressure. It's going to be a little bit of lag, but the load on the engine, which is pretty cool. And you can see here, like, the red dot will actually save the highest amount in that session, so you'll know, like, what boost you hit even if you aren't looking at it directly. Got intake temperature, coolant temperature. Right here, you could, if you want to launch it, I don't really know how to initiate it, but that can be done. This will show you if you're ready for emissions. So if you've cleared your codes recently, you won't be until it resets. You can check for fault codes here. So we can see there's no faults. And to get on a bigger picture level, I had the stock non-navigation Volkswagen radio, which I believe is the RNS 310. It was the touchscreen, but it didn't, I don't know, it wasn't really enough. It had Bluetooth. I have this button doesn't do anything now, or any of these, I think, but it was kind of lackluster. There's no way to easily splice in, or you had to splice in wires if you want to do an amplifier. I have a big subwoofer in the back. We can show you that really quickly later, but
so you would consider this unit an upgrade for sure over the stock OEM
100%,
unit.
yeah.
So what would you say are the pros and cons? Would you recommend it to a friend? What do you think buyers should be aware of when they're buying the Eonon?
A lot of the pros are just I guess, kind of flexibility. I mean, you can do Spotify on here, you can do SoundCloud, you can play music over Bluetooth just like before. Unfortunately, I didn't get the adapter for radio, so I can't listen to any North American radio stations. I think if I were to bring this to China, it would connect natively, but you'd have to get an adapter. I also don't have the reverse camera, but the car doesn't have a reverse camera anyway. So those could be downsides or upsides depending on what your priorities are. I don't ever listen to radio. I don't need a reverse camera. It is frustrating when you put it in reverse because you cannot get rid of the little hazard logo because there's no camera connected. But flexibility with things like the equalizer here and turning down my way too loud sub, monitoring the engine like we can show you now, makes this thing really, really special. And the newer Eonon head unit runs, I think, Android 5.0 or something, so that one's even better. I don't have much experience with that. So you can see boost, load has like 65% load. I guess if we wanted to do a launch we could, but I'm not gonna do that.
Let's check out the boost gauge.
Way too big boost gauge, it's kind of funny.
Go ahead and hit boost real quick. Cool, so right there, 13 PSI. He's on a APR stage 1 tune. So those levels will be higher when he's at max boost than normal. Does it read that? Or does it just do the ECU? So. Cool.
Yeah. It's not going to be as accurate or as live as an analog boost gauge, but if you don't want to do that, I mean, this is that's kind of what this device is good at being. It's just a really good all-around device. Some recommendations. I have Nova launcher to make the Android interface a little bit more pretty. I have this application called Night Mode to get the display darker than possible, as you can see there at night, because it doesn't really get dark enough when you don't want it to be bothering you, even on its lowest brightness setting. Yeah, overall, it's really great. Connecting Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to OBD and your phone at the same time is great. I really wish it showed information about what song you're playing, but with my iPhone, this is just all you're gonna see. It's the little static audio thing. These buttons do work. The steering wheel controls still work. I don't know about the phone. We'll have to try that out. But volume up and down, next song, if you want to look at the steering wheel. These will work. You can switch songs with this. I remapped this button because I never use voice control to mute. So if you want to look, I press it, mute on and off.
It's really cool.
Yeah. You can put an SD card in there, I think up to 64 gigabytes or something if you want to put in media. I believe this is for a GPS card, but the device already has some GPS on it. I just don't pay for any subscription services to get GPS. Unfortunately, it fell down, but I had a dash cam up here, so that was cool because I could pull out the micro SD card from the dash cam and stick it in here and immediately watch videos using the file viewer on here. You can do some